Thank you so much, Jackie. Now, moving on. Shots were fired just 2 days ago in Hazelwood. A man was taken to the hospital after a shooting in Pittsburgh's Hazelwood neighborhood on March 14th. When officers got there, police said they found a man with a gunshot wound to the calf. An officer used a tourniquet before medics arrived. The man was taken to a hospital in stable condition. This is the city's third shooting in less than 24 hours. A man was shot and killed in Homewood Sunday night, and a little later, 2 gunshot victims were found on the north side. But as for Hazelwood, police had no description of the suspect in the shooting. The investigation is still ongoing. Following the shooting in Hazelwood, a homicide investigation is underway after the Homewood shooting. A man had died after being shot in the head along Kedron Street on Sunday night. When Pittsburgh police arrived to the area, they tried to save the man, who was in his late 50s, but it was too late. Officers responded to Kedron Street around 10 p.m. and they gave him CPR as they waited for medics to arrive, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. Now detectives are trying to gather information. Commander Ford said they had many incidents in this area recently and that it is very concerning. Police are now asking for the community's help to find the suspect if you have any information as they continue their investigation. Contact the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police.
As Nate said, a man was shot and killed in Pittsburgh's neighborhood of Homewood on Sunday night. Police responded to the scene on Homewood's Kedron Street at around 10 p.m. on Sunday night after they were alerted to several shots being fired. The man, who was in his late 50s, had been shot in the head. Police gave the man CPR until medics showed up, but were sadly unable to save him. A homicide investigation has been opened up following the incident, but as of now, there are no suspects. Taking an Uber or ordering from Uber Eats has got a bit more expensive. The company has added a surcharge to help its drivers amid the increased gas prices. The surcharge consists of an extra 55 cents per Uber ride and an extra 45 cents per Uber Eats order. Uber says that the surcharge will go into effect on March 16th and last for at least 60 days, with all surcharge money going directly to drivers.
When we come back, we find out the COVID numbers here on campus and the state.
And Michael Deemer is at the sports desk to break down a busy week here in sports on RMU Live.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
I can't wait to get back to field trips with my school.
Not having to think about putting on a mask.
I really can't wait to get back to life, really.
I miss all my friends. I miss taking pictures in school.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
COVID-19 vaccines are available, and they're the first step to safely getting back to things we miss most. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccines.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 30 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people.
It's time to make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccines. The dangerous new Delta variant is more than twice as contagious as the original virus and can affect anyone. Right now, 9 out of 10 hospitalizations and deaths from COVID are among unvaccinated people. Getting vaccinated might save your life, and there's now an option that's fully approved by the FDA. Learn more at getvaccineanswers.org.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear, because for years he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say, like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back to RMU Live. As we said before, we're moving on to the COVID numbers. As of the COVID numbers right now on campus, after spring break, there are currently 2 students in isolation and 0 employees. And in quarantine, there are 2 students and 0 employees. Another thing to mention is that the university is still no longer requiring masks to be worn indoors since March 2nd. But the university is still asking members to carry a mask if needed. To the larger side of the scale, here is an update on Pennsylvania COVID numbers. As of right now, there are just over 2 million confirmed cases and 6 million negative cases and almost 500,000 possible cases. Also, along with this, there are just over 2 million people in Allegheny County, where we are right now, that are vaccinated, and nearly 19 million Pennsylvania residents are vaccinated.
The Pittsburgh Penguins plan to honor recently retired Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger during their Fan Appreciation Night. The event is scheduled to take place before the Penguins game against the New York Rangers on March 29th at PPG Paints Arena. Roethlisberger himself will drop the ceremonial puck before the game begins at 7. So fans, make sure to bring your terrible towels and get to the game early to watch the Pens honor an all-time great. Speaking of all-time great NFL quarterbacks, Tom Brady is coming out of retirement. On Sunday night, Tom announced via Twitter that he will be returning to the game of football and playing the 2022 season with the Buccaneers. He announced his retirement earlier this year, but it took only 2 months for him to reverse that decision. Brady's return will mark his 3rd season playing with Tampa Bay and his 23rd season in the league overall.
Going along with more signing NFL news, former Steelers running back is re-signing with the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals are bringing back James Conner on a 3-year deal, rewarding the running back for a stellar 2021 season that included a franchise record 18 total touchdowns. Conner was a huge part of the Cardinals' offense last season with 752 yards rushing and 375 yards receiving. The 26-year-old clearly had a feel for the end zone, scoring 15 times on the ground and 3 times after catching passes. Conner earned his 2nd Pro Bowl selection in 2021 and ran for at least 1 touchdown in 5 consecutive games at one point last season, which tied a franchise record. Model Hailey Bieber is now home after being hospitalized last week for stroke-like symptoms. Strokes are affecting more people 49 and younger, according to the American Heart Association. Manny Gaither has more on how to lower risk and the signs to look out for in today's Health Minute.
Hailey Bieber called it one of the scariest moments, being hospitalized after having symptoms of a stroke. Thankfully, she says she recovered completely within a few hours.
Only about 10% of strokes occur in people less than 50 years of age, so it's probably not on their radar screen.
While strokes in younger people aren't common, the president of the American Heart Association says the numbers are trending up.
People are heavier at younger ages, and that means they have more risk factors for stroke, including things like higher blood pressure and diabetes. Smoking is always a risk factor for stroke.
Healthy weight, and being active and eating healthy, but also not smoking. Now, we have many things going on in the sports world today. We're going to take it over to Michael Deemer to see what we have going on. What do we have today, Michael?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Today is the 3rd Wednesday of March, which means March Madness is here. The field of 68 was revealed by the committee on Sunday, and we have some interesting matchups, especially the ones that will take place in Pittsburgh. Friday's slate of games will be at PPG Paints Arena with a 7-10 matchup with Sister Jean's Cinderella Ramblers of Loyola Chicago and the Ohio State Buckeyes. As my producer is telling me, Sister Jean is actually older than the Horseshoe Stadium in Ohio State. There will be a 2-seed in-state Villanova Wildcats taking on the 15th-seeded Delaware Fighting Blue Hens, and the second session of the day will begin at approximately 7 p.m. with a 4-13 matchup with Kofi Coburn and the Fighting Illini taking off David Jean-Baptiste of Chattanooga. The night will conclude at 9:20 p.m. as the UAB Blazers and Houston Cougars in the always dangerous 5-12 duel. Last night was the first 2 games of the first 4. Texas Southern defeated Texas A&M Corpus Christi 76-67 in the battle of 16 seeds, and they will face number 1 Kansas on Thursday. Indiana and Wyoming battled it out with a 68-58 decision in favor of the Hoosiers in the battle of 11s. And they will take place against St. Mary's. The first 4 will continue tonight with the Horizon League representative Wright State Raiders and Bryant, who will make their first NCAA tournament appearance. The second game will feature a battle of bubble teams as Notre Dame will face Rutgers for a chance to advance to play against number 6 Alabama on Friday. Major League Baseball is finally back after a 99-day work stoppage. A new CBA was agreed upon between the owners and players. The 162-game season will begin on April 7th with new rules in effect like the expanded playoffs and banning of the shift. In RMU sports, the men's and women's lacrosse teams were in action once again. The men's team dropped their home game against High Point 13-11. Taggart Clark had a hat trick and an assist in that one in a losing effort. Brendan Maya of High Point had 5 goals for the Panthers. The women's team got a lot luckier at home with a 10-6 win against Akron. Jenna Irwin, Mackenzie Bell, Jerica Obi all each had 2 goals in the win. The Colonials have started perfect in MAC play despite an 0-4 non-conference record. Men's basketball forward and center Brandon Stone says he will enter the transfer portal. The sophomore averaged 6.5 points per game and 3.5 rebounds per game in his first season as a Colonial, a transfer from LaSalle. The softball team went out west to play against Oregon State in the doubleheader. Beavers dominated RMU with an 11-0 combined score as the offense failed to show up in Seattle as well. The Colonials faced against number 5 in the country Washington Huskies. UW ended the game in just 5 innings, but in just the next day, the Colonials faced the Seattle Redhawks, ending their 4-game losing streak and with a 3-1 win. The Redhawks split their doubleheader with a 10-2 decision in 6 innings. Coming off their best start in program history, 9-1, they are now 11-7, starting off the Horizon League play against Detroit Mercy on Friday. The Pittsburgh Penguins are at home once again against the Hurricanes on Sunday. Our own Colby Sherwin breaks down their matchup against the Metro Division leaders. Colby, take it away.
On Sunday, the Penguins were looking for 2 massive points as they hosted the Carolina Hurricanes, who were first place in the Metro Division. They led 1-0 early on. Evgeny Malkin passes to Brian Dumoulin. Dannon Hyman shoots, initially stopped by Antiranta, but he can't hold on, and that makes it 2-0. Penguins, nice puck move in here. We see it again. Beautiful shot, initially stopped, but not enough as it squeaks in. Penguins make it 2-0. Moving on to the third period now. Brian Boyle is going to give it to Sidney Crosby. He shoots it from behind the net, and it's going to go in. 3-1, Penguins lead on the empty net. The Hurricanes would add 1 more goal, and so would the Penguins off Jeff Carter. The final score would be 4-2. You see here Tristan Jarry faced 43 shots and only gave up 2 goals on the day. Moving on to the Metro Division standings, the Hurricanes lead with 87 points, the Penguins with 81. The Rangers are not too far behind with 79 points, and the Capitals with 74. Games played, the Hurricanes and Rangers have played the least, and the Penguins and Capitals have played the most with 60 and 59 apiece, and wins are 41, 36, 37, and 32. Now, if the playoffs started today, the Capitals would travel to take on the Hurricanes, and the Penguins would host the Rangers in a best-of-7 series. For RMU Century Media, I'm Colby Sherman.
Thanks a lot, Colby. After Sunday's win, the Penguins were in Nashville last night and lost to the Predators 4-1 and snapping a 2-game winning streak. The New York Rangers in their division won that, so now they're tied in points. That's all from sports. Let's head back to the desk with Jack and Nate.
When we come back, we find new movies will be hitting theaters soon.
And Julia Wozleski at the A&E desk is going to tell us what's going on in the world of arts and entertainment. Stay with us on RMU Live.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Volver a vivir esos momentos comienza con protegerlos contra el COVID-19 y sus peligrosas variantes nuevas. Obtén la información más reciente en detidepende.org o consulta con tu pediatra o proveedor de servicios médicos.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Said I'm fine.
Hey, son.
Hey, Bob.
You know you can talk to me.
Yeah.
Welcome back to RMU Live. Moving along, Pittsburgh muralist Janelle Young is new Westmoreland Museum resident artist. The Pittsburgh native, who recently moved to Chicago, began her 7-month residency on March 6th. Her work will include working on a public art project and creating an installation inside the Greensburg Museum. The Artist in Residency program is part of the museum's ongoing partnership with Pittsburgh-based artist resource organization Boom Concepts. Young is the program's 5th resident artist. While primarily working as a mural artist, Young also enjoys painting on canvas and working with found objects. Programs will be announced on the museum's website as they are scheduled. Do you enjoy festivals? Well, if you do, then you should go to the Three Rivers Arts Festival. This year is going to be different because the festival is moving from Point State Park over to Pittsburgh Cultural District. This year's festival will run from June 3rd to the 12th and will feature a pop-up park and a stage on 8th Street and Penn Avenue. The reason for the move, the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust said, new usage rules and regulations for Point State Park. The changes issued by the State Department of Conservation and Natural Resources are prompting the move. However, the Cultural Trust said the festival will remain free to the public and feature more than 400 artists. The music headliners will be revealed on April 20th, and rest of the lineup will be announced in May.
The Pittsburgh Foundation has awarded a total of $215,000 to a group of local artists as part of their Exposure Artist program. The program was created to help support artists and art collectives, often focusing on Black, Indigenous, and people of color artists, art activists, and artists who have not received proper funding in the past. The Pittsburgh Foundation started the program last July, and since then it has given out $395,000 in grant. Our entertainment report goes international today, from a documentary about a remarkable South African woman to a Swedish band getting into truly American sports. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
I love to talk to people, I love to meet people. Whoever told you that I am old, look at me. But I try to never talk about my suffering and fight for survival.
Ella Blumenthal survived the Warsaw Ghetto and 3 concentration camps. The now 100-year-old Holocaust survivor tells her story in the award-winning documentary, I Am Here. Director Jordi Sank, who met Blumenthal when he was a teenager, sees the film as a vital history lesson.
It's palatable for a much younger audience, and that younger audience is essential in continuing the legacy when there's no more survivors of the Holocaust.
I Am Here opens in U.S. theaters Friday. Ghost hits the track. The Grammy-winning metal band is the primary sponsor of NASCAR Infinity driver Bailey Currie's #4 Chevrolet. The car debuts at Saturday's United Rentals 200 at Phoenix Raceway. Ghost's new album, Impera, is out Friday. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Thank you. As you can see, we have a lot going on in the world of arts and entertainment. But we're going to go over to the A&E desk, and Julia Wozleski is going to tell us even more. Julia, take it away.
Thanks, guys. So the movie industry is starting us off strong with the release of the new Batman movie entitled The Batman. The movie was released in theaters on March 4th and stars Robert Pattinson as Batman. It focuses on Batman as he tries to decode the clues from the Riddler and help to save the people of Gotham City. But Batman is not the only notable movie that has reached people's screens in the past few weeks. Pixar's newest film, Turning Red, was released on Friday, March 11th on Disney+. The film focuses on 13-year-old May as she navigates the challenges of growing up along with her ability to turn into a red panda whenever she feels a wide range of emotions. Since its release, the movie has received some controversial opinions from parents who claim that some of the topics were inappropriate, while others have praised it. Moving on to the world of music, the iHeartRadio Music Awards are rapidly approaching. The ceremony will be held on March 22nd, and some of the notable artists that will be performing at the ceremony include Megan Thee Stallion, John Legend, Charlie Puth, and Jennifer Lopez. It will be hosted by LL Cool J. Some of the nominees for Song of the Year include Easy on Me by Adele, Kiss Me More by SZA and Doja Cat, Montero, Call Me by Your Name, Lil Nas X, Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo, Stay by the Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber, Positions by Ariana Grande, and more. Another big name in music has announced the release of some new music. Carrie Underwood has announced that she will be releasing new music this Friday, March 18th. She posted the announcement as a series of short clips on her new song on her Instagram page over the course of the last few days. Announcements began on Thursday, March 10th, with a post of her in a recording studio, and she continued to post clips of the new song over the past few days. The new song has been titled Ghost Story, and Underwood has announced that the pre-save link is now available in her Instagram bio. For more information, visit Carrie Underwood on Instagram. Next, Dolly Parton has decided to turn down her nomination for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Parton released a statement on her Twitter account on Monday, March 14th, saying that she did not, quote, feel that she earned that right. I really don't want votes to be split because of me, so I must now respectfully bow out, end quote. Parton has, however, asked that, quote, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame will understand and be willing to consider me again if I'm ever worthy, end quote. Although Parton turned down her nomination, she did say that it has, quote, inspired me to put out a hopefully great rock and roll album in the future, end quote. Best of luck to Parton in her future endeavors. That's all the arts and entertainment news we have for today, so let's send it back to the desk.
Thank you, Julia. When we come back, Jackie Rasta is going to break down the weather this week and one more time.
Find out about a warm week ahead. Don't go anywhere on RMU Live.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort.
to get to know each other,
on a deeper level.
Father,
cosplayer,
Mentor.
Actor.
it's time we take a step forward
it's time we take a step forward.
Come together.
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Sam, Elmo.
Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Can I get the now bar, please?
$1.
Have a good one. Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
Welcome back to RMU Live. Now, let's take a look at some weather.
As we said before, we have even more weather to be dropping off and to let you know what's going on. Jackie, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. Well, to get back into the weather, today's forecast is going to be a high of 68 degrees and a low of 37. Humidity is going to be at 53%, and there's going to be a 0% chance of rain today. For our tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be a high of 66 degrees and a low of 47. Humidity is going to be at 58%, and there's going to be a 20% chance of rain tomorrow. For our weekly forecast on Friday, it is going to be a low of 54 degrees and a high of 69. And it's going to be nice and some sun and clouds, so make sure you enjoy that weather today on Friday, because on Saturday and Sunday, all rain all day. It's going to be a high of 60 degrees and a low of 39 degrees on Saturday, and a high of 60 degrees and a low of 36 on Sunday. For Monday, the sun is going to come back out, but there's going to be some clouds still at a high of 62 degrees and a low of 37. And on Tuesday, it's going to be stay sunny and stay cloudy at a high of 56 degrees and a low of 43 degrees. That is all for weather this week. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks, Jackie. So, Nate, watching any good sports lately?
Oh, good sports lately. I mean, I've been following the Penguins a little bit. I am a little bummed they lost yesterday to the Predators. I'm very bummed about that. How about you?
I'm big into NBA. Definitely. I wouldn't say I really follow a ton of other sports really, but Giannis has been killing it lately. He's easily my favorite player.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now, I know a lot of things have been going on in the world, but I just want to thank everyone in the studio today, from A&E to weather, and Jack here next to me. We've had a great show, and we'll see you next week.